URL bar at the top.
Hi, good morning. As I'm looking
Hello.
at Aaron there, it's like, oh my goodness, this is one of those Friday mornings that you just don't want to miss. I think we've got gremlins in our system and we are just firing on all pistons. So at some point, Aaron will come back in, but you're in the right place. You're at Kiwanis Connects and normally with Val and Aaron, the voice. And we've got a really special guest, and you're seeing right. You're seeing Christopher Milo in a screen, and yes, he has to go diagonal for you to get the full hair effect. I really did extra on mine, Christopher, because I knew you were going to be styling today. So I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
And you didn't know what to expect, I'm sure.
I haven't the foggiest idea. I just made sure that I combed my beard and combed my hair, and here I am.
I love it. Well, you're at this amazing station. Most people think that we're coming via Zoom, but the reality is we're through WWDBTV in Las Vegas, and also we've got the West Virginia Beach VTV, which Aaron is broadcasting out of, The Voice, who's just popped in, and now he's ringing the bell. So, Aaron.
Wow. It's been 2 weeks since we've been in Pittsburgh, and the internet here in my office doesn't know what to do. So I apologize up front. Plus, it's been stormy here in the Virginia Beach area the last couple of days, so the weather's been a little rough. So, folks, I'm going to apologize up front for the hickory-dickory dock of my feed. Do the best that we can, and hopefully enough will get through. Thank you for joining us. That handsome fellow down there, I know Val's already introduced him. We are not related because he's got a very different hairline than I do, and I can't help that. We got to deal with these sort of things. Christopher Milo, and do not call him Chris; he'll beat you up. As I learned in international. But Doc Val is also here, my friend. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. I am looking out at a very cloudy, overcast sky, and this is really unusual for where I live. And so I'm just really thankful it's not 106 degrees right now, and I get to talk to both of you. So let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, as always, I want to thank everybody for joining us on YouTube or Facebook, whatever's the best for you. We don't care as long as you're tuning in. That's the important part. And today's a great day. I'm sure while I was trying to get into the system, I think John screwed up some of the parameters here and is keeping me out of the show, quite frankly. But that's a whole nother topic. Christopher Milo and his partner, Steven, they started an organization back in 2014 called We Thrive Together. And boy, there was excitement around you, my friend, in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago, not just because of that slick hairstyle of yours, but because of the great things you're doing for communities in general, but also because you did something with Action Club that has never been done before. And so we're here to talk about all of that.
I love it. I love it.
One of the things is Action Club is really near and dear to my heart. And so coming back off of the 4th of July vacation and knowing that you're going to be one of our guests, it was just like, wow, mind blown. Because here in Cal Neva, we actually have the largest population of Action Club in all of the Kiwanis world. And we actually do a conference where there's like 194 members that come and have their own independent district convention. Wow. And so hopefully you could be a guest at some point. But I'm jumping way ahead, Aaron. So
no.
Don't let that brain do its thing. So
no, it only takes typically 10 minutes to start the bookings. So you're right on pace. You're right on pace.
Well, here's the thing with Christopher Milo. He's not a shy guy. I can tell you that much.
No.
Between writing a book and 300 events a year that he does for his own organization, this guy knows some good stuff. So let's talk about that. I always like to start off with the very basic question. What was the aha moment for you in life when you said, I needed to do something that makes a difference in my community, with people in general? Talk about that, if you would, Christopher, please.
I appreciate the question. First of all, growing up in Northeast Ohio, I'm a product of of Akron, Ohio. Is right outside of Akron, Ohio, where I was born and raised. I live in Cleveland, Ohio now. And growing up for me, I was one of those kids that was bullied. And I went to a small private Catholic school, and I, at a very young age, I started my music. I started. My parents had me start playing the piano, and nobody wanted to listen to me play the piano. Everybody was just like, "Don't do that, don't do that," and that's all I wanted to do. Was we had a piano in our lunchroom, and I remember being in like the second grade, and I'm like, I'd go eat my lunch as fast as I could. I'd get over to the piano, so I'd sit down and start playing whatever song it was or lesson that I had, and I'd turn around, and everybody was gone. They had already skated out to the lunch, the recess, and I told myself, man, maybe I should give this up. And there's a little lady, God bless her soul. Her name was Mrs. Pape, and I will never forget this. Mrs. Pape was about 4.5 feet tall, and she had one of those beehive haircuts. Okay. And she told me, she said, Christopher Michael, good Catholic name. She said, Christopher Michael, don't you ever stop playing that piano. And one of these days, people all over the world are going to know your name and hear your music. Now, honestly, I thought she was 4 fries short of a Happy Meal at the time. But, I'm like, so what do I do? Do I believe the kids that are picking on me? Or do I believe Mrs. Pape, who is our recess monitor? So it was at that moment when I graduated the 8th grade with 26 students in my class that I realized that I wanted to do something to make an impact with people. I didn't really know what that was. So I got into high school, and remember, I graduated with 26 kids in my little Catholic school, and then getting into high school, I went to Wadsworth High School in Wadsworth, Ohio, and it was at that moment that I realized I can make a difference here. So I ran for class president. I didn't know anybody. I had no idea who anybody was, but they said this, that people in the class president, vice president, secretary, whatever, had a better chance of creating change.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know what? I don't want people to treat other people like I had been treated for the last 8 years. So I'm going to go try for this so I can be a part of that change. And crazy enough, I was class president my freshman and sophomore year of high school. And it was from there on that I realized that I really, really appreciated being in a leadership role and would do anything that I could to help young people, just like myself at the time, not have to deal with the bullying situation. So it was actually bullying. It was one of those negative things that turned into a positive thing. So I realized that it is at a very young age that I wanted to do something different.
We have something seriously in common on that. So, Aaron, I'm just going to jump on in.
Yep.
I moved around 17 times in the first 15 years of my life.
Yeah,
And
wow.
one of the things that I discovered was that if you jumped in and started to be a leader, you could affect change immediately. So no matter, like when I moved into not Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, went to a school there, I discovered that I was only one of 3 Black kids.
Wow.
And it wasn't cool to be Black, but I didn't know any better. And so I jumped right on in and I was like, let's start a club. If there's 3 of us, we can do something.
Right.
And it made a difference. And so that's a simple example. But I know, Aaron, you've got other questions. But Chris, I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I wanted to fast forward to 2014 when
Sure.
when We Thrive Together was founded. So sort of the same question. What was the aha moment when We Thrive Together came to fruition for you and Steve? And now you have an organization that gives you direction and a platform. Talk about that, please.
Sure. So Steve's parents Steve's dad was a teacher for many, many years. And their whole vision was to help kids not have to be socially isolated and lonely. He saw it firsthand as a teacher. Steve's mom wanted to be a teacher, so that they were in that whole world of education and whatnot. And Steve and I had known each other for almost 15 years now. My niece had something called arthrogryposis. Victoria was born with this. This leg grew up here this way, and this leg grew up here in the womb. And after countless surgeries, she ended up passing at the age of 16 in 2017. Mm-hmm. So that was my experience with the world of developmental disabilities. And in all sincerity, We Thrive Together did not start off as an organization to work with people with disabilities. It started off as an organization to help seniors, our senior citizen population. Well, that happened. Then by the time 2018, everybody was gearing up for We Thrive Together and the senior program. And then the pandemic hit. So we made a shift from there that was like, okay, we don't need to be worrying about this. We need to focus on the folks with disabilities. We learned that there's something called MUIs. They're called major unusual incidents. And this is like this in the world of developmental disabilities. Well, it was up like some 430% during the pandemic. An MUI is something that gets reported. People are in a very bad state of mind mentally. They need some very, very unique help, and they need it maybe quickly. That's the best maybe short version of that. Well, while social isolation was at an all-time high, loneliness just kept rising. We were like, okay, maybe we need to do something different. So it started at, we're running two programs a day in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 to we're now doing 300 programs a month for people with disabilities. So we've made so many mistakes just over the last 5 years, but I'll tell you, we've gotten really, really good at it. So and we have programs now, and I can share more of that in a little bit, but our focus has been the last 5 years specifically on helping people with disabilities. That's why we were so pumped up and excited about Action Club, and I'm ready to tell that story whenever you're ready.
Well, that's a great spot to take a break, because we're at about quarter after. We got a lot of messages coming through now that are hitting the chat room. Special happy birthday to John Crawford from all of us here, and of course his wife Valerie. We want to send him a happy birthday. A lot more stuff. Michael is in the chat room. I saw Douglas in the chat room earlier. Everybody's checking in here at Kiwanis Connects. Of course, why? It's not me. It's not Val. This week it's Mr. Mohawk himself. Mr. Christopher Milo is joining us. And there'll be more news to talk about, because he and I are working on a little fundraising project behind the scenes also to help out his organization. So all you golfers out there, hint, 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 be prepared to dust off those clubs. All right, you're watching Kiwanis Connects with Doc Val, with Christopher Milo, John in Vegas. I'm here in Virginia Beach trying to wonder just what the hell's going on with my internet. Don't go anywhere. More stuff coming right after this.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh, yeah. Still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
I know. Have you heard the news? WWDBTV Virginia Beach has arrived. WWDBTV will bring an exciting lineup of shows streaming from our very own Virginia Beach studio. Since we're an affiliate of WWDBTV Las Vegas, our show lineup will also be available on all of the WWDBTV social media channels. We are looking for new and current show hosts, content creators, and our advertisers who would like to take advantage of our vast audience. Las Vegas Entertainer Hall of Fame member Aaron "The Voice" Phillips is building this brand of marketing and promotional platform right here in Hampton Roads. For more information, email wbbtvinfo@gmail.com or call 702-286-0063. Think outside the box and let your voice be heard.
Wow. I think I need another show altogether because I'm feeling like a slacker right now. When we look at all the different shows that are available on WWDB TV, including The Voices Aaron's Hour that usually comes on Saturdays. And so, John, are we able to call in today? Because I would love for someone to sing "Happy Birthday" to John Crawford, or
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John Crawford. Happy birthday to you.
So now, if you want to send in money to never have John Styles sing again, we can do that as a fundraiser.
I love that as a fundraiser. Got to keep this show on the air, you know.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, I have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a jersey like you see Val and I donning all the time, and those of you who have ordered, thank you so very much. YouTube, especially if you want to have your jersey in time for DCon in Vegas at the end of August, all you need to do is just send me an email, KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. I'll give you all the ordering information. If you just want a jersey that says Kiwanis Connects, $65, that's all that it is. If you want to have a number added, $70, that's it. Beautifully embroidered. These are very strong and classy jerseys. We always get comments on them from people who love them. So just shoot me an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. I will respond with all the directions. And if we order now, operators are standing by. Maybe you should possibly get your jerseys in time for DCon. But if you're not going to DCon, still order a jersey because the proceeds of those things are keeping the show on the air. Okay? So please, please, please send me an email and I will respond with all the ordering instructions. All right. With that, let's get back to business. So, action. Ready, set, action. Let's talk about the Action Club. How did this idea come about there, Mr. Christopher?
No, it's a great question. So in August of last year, on our We Thrive Together programming, we started trying to get more organizations involved, okay, to share the word about what We Thrive Together is doing. Now, there's organizations, and maybe some of you have heard of some of these organizations like Special Olympics. There's organizations called the Down Syndrome Organization or Best Buddies. And then somebody said, well, what about Action Club? And I was like, well, somebody needs to educate me on what Action Club is. So one of our participants had said, I was in Action Club, a part of Action Club in North Carolina. And when I moved to Tennessee, there was no Action Club. And I'm like, well, maybe there is one and you just don't know. And she's like, no, I've looked everywhere and we cannot find an Action Club. And I said, well, one of the things that we express to our viewers is to advocate for what it is that you want. You have to speak up. So I thought to myself, well, wait a second. Well, if there isn't a club, why don't we just start a club? So I reached out to, it's a funny coincidence because 15 years ago, I had the privilege of speaking at our Medina County, Ohio Action Club, and I had no idea what it was. They wanted an inspirational keynote, blah, 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 blah. Took one of my pianos with me. I played. It was awesome. And
how did you carry that thing?
I have a digital one I have a whole setup that's really cool.
You didn't roll with me, Christopher. Not cool, dude.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I'll do better next time.
By the way, you're international right now. Our friend Grace is listening to us. She's in the chat room. From where, Doc Val? Where's Grace listening from?
So, oh, please. I am having a brain moment. She is in Africa. And if I could tell you, Grace, I'm so sorry. My brain is having a senior moment. But Grace is all things Kiwanis on the continent of Africa. She hopefully will one day be their first true governor. And then ultimately, I think she's destined to be an international president. She's fabulous.
Wow.
So I wanted to impress Christopher and let him know that we truly are international, and he is being heard on the other side of the globe right now.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Go ahead, keep going, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not a problem at all. So what we did is we kind of blessed each one of these organizations with a week worth of just mentions on a couple days a week. We had, folks from different action clubs speak on what action club was. We educated our listeners, and it was just really, really cool. Well, I ended up meeting a gentleman by the name of Dick Brulette, who he is the Ohio District Action Club Administrator, if I have that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I said, why don't we put this virtual thing together? Let's just do a virtual action club. I'm thinking this is no big deal, because this is what we do, right? Well, he's like, well, you have to get something called a sponsoring club. You have to get a Kiwanis club to sponsor you. So, well, we ended up getting Chillicothe, Ohio, is our sponsoring club for the first time ever global, worldwide virtual action club. They call it on our banner. We got the banner that says that it's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. And I didn't realize what an honor this is. If you want to know the absolute, I just want to connect people. I just don't want people to have to be lonely. I just want people to have an awesome experience and to be part of something that's just way bigger than us as individuals. And so the more and more I learned, then we got in this meeting, and then I met Bev from Pennsylvania, and so and so and so and so and Honey Boo Boo and them and them and them, and they're like, we got the conference coming up. You guys should, talk about this. And I'm like, well, why don't we go to the conference? They're like, I don't know if we've ever had an action club table at the conference. I'm like, well, we gotta have an action club table. I mean, to me, this is just common sense, right?
Absolutely.
You guys saw it yourself. I mean, to think that there was the whole world was represented there was amazing.
And what made it even that much more special is you had the international president and the incoming international president in that meeting to be there to pin the members, present their certificates. I don't know if that's ever happened, Val, that you've had both the current sitting president, right, and he gave you one of the banner flags from him. I can't think of anything in my 40 years where both the current international president and the incoming were in the same location to pin new members to any level of Kiwanis.
I had no idea.
That's such an amazing honor. And, when you think about President Lee and his energy and incoming president, future President Michael, right? Those are two amazing gentlemen. And if they were both there at the same time, you really have set the Kiwanis world on fire.
Awesome.
And most people don't realize that you can truly make the connections even when it's virtual.
Yeah.
Most people think like with Action Club that everybody has to be in the same room. And so what a huge success.
This is what's so amazing about what it is that's happening is that we've got over 130 members now in the United States and Canada. It's truly an international club. And we're able to track, say Val's zip code is 44444, and we can see how many people are in that zip code that have signed up for the virtual action club.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help facilitate, hey, let's start an in-person club out there where your zip code is. And we have, that's all I'm doing right now. I feel like I should just put a Kiwanis cap on that says, I'm here to start a new action club for Kiwanis International. Because that's really what I've been doing.
Careful what you wish for.
So how did you get that started in the very beginning? Because that to get to 100 plus members virtually, it's just like, how are you doing that? Because I think that could apply to how we're working on membership with our Kiwanis clubs.
No, this is for 100%, Val, and I think that this is going to be in such an amazing opportunity for Kiwanis as an organization. We Thrive Together currently serves people in 38 states as well as Canada. So to be honest with you, it really wasn't that complicated. Every week I'm talking about, I'm live on We Thrive Together on Friday afternoons from 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And anybody can visit WeThriveTogether.org, and that's a website that I would love for you guys to be able to share in your notes so people can tune into WeThriveTogether.org and look at the different calendars. We have a calendar for every time zone, and there is programming on our Bulldog programming Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 10 p.m. And then on the weekends, it is participant-led programming. So we train and teach our participants how to host, how to co-host. We teach programs on personal advocacy, group advocacy. We do whole trainings on all of this stuff. There's different modules, and we do it all virtually. So we've got people tuning in to learn how to advocate for themselves, speak up and use their voice in places that we never thought that we could reach, but the word just keeps spreading. And with your help and with this help of this program, we hope that people all over the world will be able to say, you know what, not only can we be a part of this awesome action club, we have now help that will help us start our own. And we're now building future members of Kiwanis. And it starts in the Builders Club with the little itty bitty kids. And we have programs for every age group of people starting in middle school and 7th grade.
So, Val, I'm going to get myself into trouble right now, but that's okay, as I always do. First of all, Christopher, we've had the website scrolling under the bottom of the screen pretty much throughout the entire show.
Thank you.
For those who are not watching but are listening, it is WeThriveTogether.org. WeThriveTogether.org. And as always, a lot of our guests that have a nonprofit, they have that little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-letter word that is usually in a little green box representing money, begins with the D, ends with an E, and has an onate in between in there. So how many members did you say you chartered with? 130 what?
We're right now it's at 130, and they've not closed out the charter as far as I know. As of yesterday, they have not closed it out. So right now it is free. But man, if anybody wants to sponsor somebody, man, we'll take it. We'll take it. Here's what I want to do in the next 30 minutes we have left on the air. It's a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to do it. I would love to see our audience right now. Well, not right now, but if you do, open up another window. Don't close this one as you're watching us. Go to WeThriveTogether.org, and right across the top, you'll see that word donate. I want 138 people right now in the next 30 minutes to go out there and donate $1. That's it, $1. That's all I'm asking for. I want to have a $138 donation from our audience to We Thrive Together within the next 30 minutes. Now, if some of you out there want to donate more than $1, God bless you. That's great. I'm only asking for $1 138 times. Now, Christopher, if someone makes a donation, I presume you get a notification of some sort, so you'll be able to track for us like a running tote board that by the time we get off the air, hopefully we'll have at least $138 in a donation during the next 30 minutes. Does that sound fair? That's awesome. I appreciate it so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's work on that, folks. I'm going to give everybody a chance now during a commercial break to go to another tab, open that up, go there and start sending them in, because we're going to go to our final break of the show. We have so much to do more with Christopher. We have, of course, Val's Wow Moments. We have our mental health moment with Melissa Atwell. And, of course, what would Kiwanis Connects be without some bad dad jokes to make Andy smile over there in California? Christopher, I hope you came with at least one bad dad joke armed with you. If you didn't, you have 2 minutes during the break to find one because all of our guests have to do that. All right, everybody. Kiwanis Connects. We got a lot to do in 30 minutes, including raising $138. Don't go anywhere. More to come. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
My sponsors from the Chamber of Commerce that I just got.
We are back. I am
We
looking
are-
at you to fill in the blanks and make a donation of $1. But that was quick.
We are back. Yes, we are certainly back. Christopher Milo joins us, one of the founders. We thrive together. And I got to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you look up the word genuine and then individual, I had an opportunity to chat with Christopher. First of all, he and my wife started chatting during the Kiwanis Connects show in International. These two together were like Tom and Jerry trying to make both Val and I just go off the rails during the show. But fortunately, Val and I are seasoned veterans, and it didn't work, although I did throw a chip at him. I think I hit the poor lady walking behind him. I'm not sure. I think I'm getting a letter from an attorney soon. But anyway, so we had a very quick introduction, but then he had a program later on in the day on that Friday, and I had an opportunity to stop up, and Christopher and I sort of chatted privately for a few minutes. And I say this with all sincerity, my friend. Personally, I love what you're doing for the community. I love what you're doing for the kids. I'm learning more about your backstory because of your book and your other websites. But you are one of the most genuine people. This guy is built like a brick house. He's like a walking fire plug. This guy is built. I nearly broke my hands trying to squeeze his shoulders and realized that the guy was into weightlifting. He probably could have bench pressed me, and I'm 240 for crying out loud. But he and I had such poignant conversation that between the two of us, we almost became two blabbering idiots because we were so locked up in the emotion of our conversation. I have goosebumps. You can't see him on camera, but Christopher and his mission and Stephen, who I spoke with, who was really who I spoke to first. These guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't get behind two individuals, especially with Christopher and Stephen, and what they're doing for the K family by promoting Action Club, one of our organizations, and get behind what they're doing, I'm sorry, then I'm not sure. Then I think we need to revoke your Kiwanis membership and send you to Rotary. I'm not sure what else we could do here but to present genuine people. And that's what I love about conventions. And Christopher, I say that, dude, you hit me emotionally in such a way that day that you and I are kindred spirits. And I want to pledge my support, whatever you need. I know Val and I together do whatever we can to help you. I love the organization. I love what you do. If you need us as speakers, if you need me as a speaker to come on as an event, just ring my phone, buddy, because usually in the evening I got nothing to do. My wife keeps me busy with a to-do list that I hide from every day anyway, so I want to get out of that.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, WeThriveTogether.org. Click on that donate button across the top, folks. I just want $1 from 138 people. That's all I want. So Val, take it away.
Well, I had my brain moment when talking about Grace. And so Grace is in Kenya, and you were giving her great ideas as well. And so you may actually start to see some people pop in and watch your show from Kenya now, because Grace is one of our perennial watchers that's here in Gigi Chan out in the Philippines, where we're headed next. And I'm hoping that maybe we can do a session all together when we're in the Philippines next June and have a virtual Action Club meeting, maybe on the air. so that people can see
it.
what's going on. I think that would be completely cool. And we had a couple that were married a couple of years ago that Aaron did a great interview with that are both Action Club members. And the husband's the president of the club and the wife. And it's like, thank you, Douglas. Woohoo! We can ring the bell.
Mark.
What's that, Douglas? I'm busy entering my donation. All right, Douglas. There you go, buddy. Thank you, sir. See, I have another tab up. I'm making my donation. I mean, I'm asking. I got to do it myself. So
thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And so, Christopher, one of the things that I want to make sure is there a message that you want to make sure that if we leave the show today that was really, really clear that was shared with everybody?
I think my message right now to the world is to make the words WeThriveTogether.org a household name. And the reason I say that is because we have a platform for 40 and older population. We have a platform for our students. We have a platform specifically for our individuals with disabilities. And every one of us knows somebody that fits in each one of those categories. Nobody has to be lonely. There's so much. I wish we had more hours that I could share more with you guys. But it's simple. Give somebody the website and say, go learn more about it. And we'll take it from there. Have people, it doesn't matter what your age is, what your abilities are. Tune into a program. Just tune into any program and just say, Christopher sent me. He sent me to just look at this and just try it out. That's all that anyone has to say, because all of our folks are trained to welcome and make you feel just like the family that we know that you're going to be. So it's been an honor to be able to share what it is that we do. That's the message that I want to get out, is just share the website and encourage people to participate.
Now,
awesome.
Now, Christopher, there is a way that Kiwanians can stay in the loop on all that is going on the website. Why don't you share that with everybody for a moment, please?
That is correct. So we created a landing page specifically for Kiwanis members. So if actually, do you have that link by chance that you could put in the chat?
Yep.
I appreciate it.
I will do that.
Thank you, sir. So anybody that is a Kiwanis member, we've created a landing page specifically for Kiwanis that you can leave your information, and every time that there is an update, it's specifically for what we do with Action Club. For example, we meet the 4th Friday of every month. I'm going to say that one more time. We meet the 4th Friday of every month at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So tune in. I mean, see what's happening with your Kiwanis organization. And what my hope is that I think we max out at 500 people. I want us to have so much trouble that we have to increase the size of our platform. Okay. And I believe that time is coming very, very quickly, because the response that we had at the international conference was so over the top. I just was so blessed by it. I was so blessed by it, and I can't wait to see what happens in the days and weeks and months to come.
The link is on the bottom of the screen, WeThriveTogether.org/Kiwanis. That's all that it is, folks. That's it, WeThriveTogether.org/Kiwanis. And that'll get you all the information that's fit to be shared, that is things so you can kind of keep on the loop on what's going on. All right, Christopher, I'm going to ask you to just kind of sit back and relax for a moment or two. Doc Val, are we ready to shift gears for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. What do you want to do? You want to do WOW first, or you want to have Melissa chat first?
Why don't we have Melissa chat first, because I think this is a great spot for a mental health moment.
Perfect. There you have it. Melissa Atwell, mental health moment coming at you right now.
Every time someone shares their mental health truth or their journey, their story, the stigma cracks a little bit more. Your vulnerability is powerful. Keep talking. Keep listening to others. Someone out there needs your courage to find their own. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Handle stress suggestions and
I am so glad that we share the mental health moments. There's been so much stuff going on in the news and everything that it creates that isolation, and so when we talk about we thrive together and saying we're eliminating loneliness, part of one of the biggest strife issues that people deal with mental health is that the loneliness that you're talking about removing. And so just absolutely love it. And so one of the things that's been creating a lot of issues for me lately is seeing all of the weather issues that are happening across the country. So that's what's led into my wow moment. So I know we've got the wow logo thing if John will run it.
This is not normal.
Oh my goodness. That one was a new one. So if you're watching this for the first time, I saw that for the first time too. I was feeling a little bit more like Wonder Woman all of a sudden. But I know that you guys saw, you've probably seen this around the world, the over 1 billion gallons of water being dumped into the Texas region, and all the devastation that it's caused. And so you all know Kiwanians are the first responders, second responders, and last responders in almost everything. But I have been so wowed by the Texas-Oklahoma districts of Kiwanis and their response. They've joined up, and I have to put it in front of myself because I don't want to leave anybody out. But the Texas-Oklahoma Foundation is joining with 3 local Kiwanis clubs led by the Texas Hill Country Kiwanis. Texas Hill Country Kiwanis, if you look them up. And they're funding all of the needs and putting in a lot of person power to help clean up and provide clean drinking water and clothing and the ways for people to do laundry so that they can get the mud off their clothes. Many of these people are housing people. So I just wanted to do a shout out and a thank you to the Shearers and Heroes in the Texas-Oklahoma district, and specifically the Texas Hill Community Kiwanis. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations. Kudos to them. Kudos to everybody that's down there. I mean, to see the devastation that's going on down there, and I know our Kiwanis clubs down there are doing, I'm sure, what they can, and the Red Cross. I know folks from Virginia Beach last week, Swiftwater rescue team of 8 people were sent out there to help rescue people. So teams from Virginia Beach are down there. Listen, the last couple of years, Mother Nature has been on a warpath. She's not happy about something between all the earthquakes and rains and floods and tsunamis and everything. Folks, we got to be nicer because Mother Nature is not a happy camper right now. But if we had more Christopher Milos out there and doing all that we do within Kiwanis, Mother Nature would be smiling. So let's keep that in mind. Folks, again, I just want to ask everybody, just simply go, if you wouldn't mind, please, to WeThriveTogether.com. Donate. There's a little button right on top. I'm just asking for $1 from everybody. 138 ones. That's all I'm asking for. Instead of going to the gentleman's club or something, move those dollars over here. I don't really care what you do. Go break out your piggy bank. Go through the. I know. See, Val, I'm getting warmed up for bad dad jokes for you. That's what's happening there. Go through the piggy bank. Go through the cushions. I don't really care. Just let's get those dollars in. I know some donations have gone in, Christopher. So at some point, I'm going to ask you for a number to see where we are with about 15 minutes to go. But in the meantime, you can also go to WeThriveTogether.org/Kiwanis.
Right.
And register on the website and get all the info. What kind of information will they get, Christopher, if they register?
They get updates on what we're doing with Action Club. They get the calendar, the monthly calendar, emailed directly to them. It's really a great shortcut to immediate information on everything that we're doing. They get a copy of our weekly newsletter that goes out on Sundays by Alyssa. And it's really a great way to stay connected, see what we've done throughout that past week. We do a real good job of keeping people informed. So it's really cool to be a part of.
Now, I keep mentioning this guy, Steven, and he's not on the air with us.
Right.
And you've brought him up a couple times. Why don't you talk about Steven and who he is in the organization?
Steve is probably one of the kindest men that I've ever had the privilege to know. He is the executive director of We Thrive Together. His parents started the organization, and I'd say this in front of his face, but you couldn't ask for a better friend on the planet knowing this guy. So if you ever get a chance to know him, actually, if you log on to WeThriveTogether.org, you should just send him an email and say, Steve at WeThriveTogether.org, I heard you're amazing, and say something to brighten his day. We have a lot of heavy times in what we do, and I always love to be an encouragement, and he and I are both an encouragement to each other. But he is just an awesome, awesome man. He does a lot of our technology training. We specialize a lot, not only in advocacy training, but technology training for people with disabilities. There's just so much that we do. So he's a lot of the brains behind what it is that happens when we thrive together.
And it was Chuck Fletcher at Kiwanis International when I was running around the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
Said hello to him, and then he pulled me over to introduce me to Steve, and we started chatting, and then the rest was history from that standpoint. All right, what I'd like to do, Val, is I'll turn it over to you for the last couple of minutes with Christopher before we get to Andy's favorite segment of the show, and that's Bad Dad Jokes.
Awesome.
Very cool. Christopher, one of the things that I would love you to give an example, because I know some people, they still think they kind of understand what Action Club is and all that. But what's one of your favorite programs that your Action Clubs is doing?
So what we're doing right now is something called Random Acts of Kindness. And those random acts of kindness, depending, no matter what your abilities are, everybody can do something to sow into kindness to other people. And that's what we're encouraging literally all over the world with everybody in Action Club. And there's so many wonderful ideas. We interviewed dozens and dozens of people on camera at the conference. And just to hear the buffet of awesome ideas of what people do in their own communities has given us a huge laundry list of things that we are really excited to implement. But right now, we're just trying to work on recruitment. So my encouragement, Val, to every single person that's hearing this, go on to WeThriveTogether.org and register for the Action Club Virtual Club. I know there's a lot of links and we're talking about a lot of stuff, but it's actually, once you dive into WeThriveTogether.org, it's really easy to find. That's what people need to do so they can be a part of this rapidly growing organization.
It would be awesome if we doubled your membership over the next month by everybody listening in and jumping in. Is there an expense to it? What do we need to do to make sure that we're doing it right? We're signing up right?
No, this is a great question. Now, as of yesterday, the charter status is still in place. So if you go right now and you sign up and register to be a part of Action Club, there's no charge for it. So at worst case scenario, I think it's going to be like $10 or $15 for the year. It's not a big deal, okay? But to get a part of being that charter member for launching this club, man, there's still time. And they're leaving it open. They're letting it breathe until things like this are done. So
I love it. I spent more on a Philly cheesesteak when I was in Pittsburgh. And so I'm okay with, $10, $15, $20 for a year. That is an amazing contribution. And so that on top of the donations, absolutely. When I look at what you're doing, and I just hope you know how much we value you and how amazing you are. And before I give you back to Aaron, because I know that this is not the end, it's just the beginning. And Douglas has put out there, we can sponsor members. So he wants to know, how can we sponsor members if we aren't personally joining?
So if people want to make it, we've told people this in the past over the past weeks, if they want to make a $20 contribution, we will make sure that goes to one or two people for their future dues and things like that. So just go right through WeThriveTogether.org and click on that donate button.
Well, Christopher, I'm glad you mentioned that because my donation, ironically, happened to have been $20. So please make sure you use that towards somebody's dues. Okay.
We definitely will. Thank you.
Can you kind of get us in and tell us what kind of donations we've seen in the 20 minutes so far?
From what I can see, we are currently at $50.
All right. That's okay. We're getting there. So we need another, what is that? $88 to get there to. So folks, we got about 10 minutes. I'll tell you what, if we hit the $88 in the next 5 minutes, I'll make Steve Nagel happy and not do bad dad jokes.
Oh, I got one ready.
No. I said, Christopher, I won't. So you get us started. Let's hear you. I know that may make Andy unhappy, but Christopher, hit us with your bad dad joke, please.
All right, Aaron. Hey, what do you call a fish wearing a tuxedo?
A starfish?
No, sophisticated.
That's a good start.
Oh, God.
So, well, I have no choice now to at least combat that. So I'm hoping that the donations will still come in regardless. So, all right, here you go. What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, folks, remember, I just read them. I don't write them. Okay. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince.
Oh, my gosh. Bel Air.
Yeah, see, there you go. Some of these do have a little afterburn and will make sense like 3 seconds after I tell the punchline. Oh, and as always, folks, feel free to use these around the dinner table if you need to. Okay. Here's a riddle for you. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Come on now. Really? What do May flowers bring? Pilgrims!
Allergy!
No, pilgrims. I have a guest sitting in studio here with me that's kind of watching what I'm doing, and she guessed it. She got it under her breath. So, pilgrims, Mayflowers. Remember the Mayflower ships? Wait a minute. I have to explain that joke. Holy cow. That means I have to subject you to more jokes then. Holy cow. I
got a golf joke. You want a golf joke?
Go for it.
So why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of socks, Val?
In case he got a hole in one.
Oh, man, he took my thunder.
You can't get a bad dad joke past this guy, I'll tell you that much.
Fair enough. I'm done. I am done.
I'm glad you are, because I'm not. Where do boats go when they're sick? Where do boats go when they are sick?
To the dock.
Yeah, John, you got it. To the boat dock. That is correct. Why don't
Andy's just joining us in the background, so I'm
trying I see his head popping through the purple there. He looks like an alien being born through Sigourney Weaver's belly right now. Are you in a car? You are in the car.
I want to make sure he doesn't look like an alien, so you can see him now.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
All right. Why don't eggs tell jokes? Why don't eggs tell jokes?
They're already cracked up.
They crack each other up. That's correct. John Crawford asks, why are there no knock-knock jokes about America? I'm afraid to hear what that punchline's going to be.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
What is it, John? You got to get it in there quickly because freedom rings. All right. There you go. Very good. All right.
Very good.
Hey, what does a lemon say when it answers the phone? What does a lemon say when it answers the phone? Yellow.
Yellow.
Come on, even Christopher.
I actually got that one. So knock, knock, Aaron.
Who's there?
Radio.
Radio who?
Radio not. Here I come.
Oh, I love that one. Oh, I love that one. I like that one. That was very good, Chris. I may steal that one, actually.
It's all yours, my brother. It's all yours.
What do you call it when a snowman throws a tantrum? What do you call it when Yes, a meltdown, Val.
Oh,
yes.
that was good.
All right, she got that one. She's rocking. I only have a couple of more, mercifully, but now that I see Andy on screen, I may have to do more here. Hey, here's a little thought for the day. Whenever I try to eat healthy, a chocolate bar looks at me and snickers. Just thought I'd share that, what it's like to eat on the diet.
That's good.
Hey, two more and then I'm done. I'll get out of here. What do clouds wear? What do clouds wear? I don't know if I like this joke, but I'm going to say it anyway. Clouds wear thunderwear.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I know. All right, I'm going to end with this next one. I know this one would be it, but Andy's laughing. Yes, I see Andy's laughing back there. That's all I care about. Andy, I do this just for you, my friend. You're the only one I really care about that likes these. I got to be honest with you. All right, last but not least, how can you tell if a tree is a dogwood tree? How can you tell if a tree is a dogwood?
By its bark.
Oh, John. Yes, by its bark. Even my guest Sue in studio got it. That does it for this week's Bad Dad Joke.
I bought the same book, Aaron.
Oh, did you? Yes, by the way, you can get these Bad Dad Jokes on Temu and your local, what's the buffet place? Golden Corral. Yeah, that's the one. You can buy them there too. All right. Did we get any more money during all of that? That's what I want to know. That's all I care about.
There's a very good possibility, but has it updated? There's probably so many donations coming in. I'm just not seeing them.
That's all right.
I'm going to believe.
All right. Sounds like a plan to me. All right. With that, we have about 1 minute to go. Christopher, give you 30 seconds to tell our audience again, get them involved with We Thrive Together. Go for it, buddy.
We really just encourage everybody to tune into WeThriveTogether.org /Kiwanis. That way, that will give you immediate connection to everything that we're doing. And it was just such a privilege. I'll leave you with this. I was at that conference, and I've never been into a place with that many people who wanted to be there. And that's what was so special about Kiwanis for me, that everybody wanted to be there for their own reasons, and that is to serve others and be a blessing to the communities. You guys, thank you so much for having me. This has been a real honor.
Absolutely. Christopher, appreciate you more than you can imagine. Real quickly, are you talking to your golfing buddy today?
Today is the day. I'm supposed to talk to him this evening, actually.
Okay.
We're hoping to catch up with each other tonight.
Perfect. Delia made a donation. Thank you, Delia. And also, your shirt has been ordered. Just want to remind everybody, if you are hoping to get a jersey in time for convention, now's the time to do it, folks. Send me an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. I will reply back to you with all the information you need to do it. $65 for a jersey that just says Kiwanis Connects. Or if you'd like to have your favorite number put on it as well, $70, and they will be direct shipped to you. Now, if you're not going to come to convention, guess what? You could still buy a jersey and support the show, please, because that's what's going to keep the show on the air, things like that. So please do so. Christopher, you're such a good guy. I'm going to you email me your size and your number, and I'm sure I can get someone to sponsor a jersey for you. You're not paying for a jersey. I'll get one out to you. All right, Doc Val, let's wrap up and let's get on our way. Go for it.
All right. So one of the things I do need to do a shout out for is Ben Hendricks with Kiwanis International, who gave us a beautiful space at the convention center and allowed for us to broadcast. That was a very special and amazing thing. And so, Christopher, I've shared your information with him because he said, if you find anybody that you think that Kiwanis really needs to spotlight, and you are that person that we needed to spotlight. And so thank you. This is a great way to end the week on a major high. Thank you, everybody. Happy birthday to John Crawford. Happy birthday to Anna Wu and Doug Jen. It is 7-Eleven crew. And so
7-Eleven crew, is everybody going for Slurpees?
Guess that's it, huh?
All right. With that, Michael Ehrman, thank you very much for joining us. Cool show. Appreciate your comment. Douglas, always good to see you all the time out there. Herman wants us to do a show on site at convention so everybody can wear their jerseys. That's something we have to talk to John about. With that, everybody, listen, you know how it rolls around here. First of all, Aaron's Hour tomorrow. I will actually be in Portsmouth at an event for Tidewater Community College, brushing up on some basketball. So tomorrow we're going to re-air last week's show when I had Alicia Meek on the show. She is the new host of Side Hustle Startup. You're going to want to check this out because she's got some great ideas. That'll be airing tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right, with that, Rex is out there, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. All right, everybody, with that, be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. I now call this show dismissed.